It's still not known what caused the fire which killed 2 people at an old people's home at Arnside near Lancaster. Forensic scientists have spent today examining the charred remains of the bedroom of the owner, Mr. John Sims, who died in the blaze. His bedroom was on the ground floor, where it's thought the fire began. The other victim was an 87-year-old woman resident. The Redlands home for gentlefolk at Arnside in South Cumbria had only been open a year and had 22 residents. As Martin Henfield now reports, neighbours played a part in helping rescue some of the old people.
The fire began just after breakfast, and some of the 22 elderly residents were trapped in upstairs rooms. They broke windows to sound the alarm, but neighbours' rescue attempts were thwarted. Then, as a woman member of staff prepared to jump from the second-floor window, the neighbours stretched out a curtain. Brian Thorpe was on the scene.
When I first got there was just old ladies at the windows, and a young lady and an old lady at the top window, and they were breaking the glass and shouting for help, you see. So.
What did you do?
Well, I realised I needed a ladder, so I dashed back down to my place, got a ladder, the longest I could find, and put it up to the window to see if I could do anything, you know, see if I could get the old lady out.
And what happened then?
Well, because I hadn't had any training in carrying people on ladders or anything, I just kept saying, keep to the window and you'll be all right, you can breathe then. And I kept shouting up to the other 2 at the top to keep their heads out and they'd be all right.
One of them did jump, didn't they?
Well, it got to the stage that she had to jump, or else she would have suffocated in the smoke. She kept shouting that she couldn't breathe or anything. So there were a few of us around that we'd got some curtains, and we held the curtains and caught her, and she did jump.
Forensic scientists concentrated their investigations on the ground floor room where the owner of the home, Mr. John Sims, had been a bedridden invalid for some months. The fire had spread rapidly. One of those attempting to rescue the elderly was off-duty fireman Dave Brockbank.
When I arrived, there were several elderly people lying on the floor, and one elderly female leaning out of first floor window. There was a Mr. Thorpe, Brian Thorpe. He was making sure she wasn't going to jump. The ladder he was using was just a little bit too short, so I then went in at first floor level, pushed her head out of the window so she wasn't involved in the smoke, and then searched the first floor area. I didn't find anybody else, and then waited with her until the fire brigade arrived with a ladder.
The elderly residents, many of them ill and over 80, were later transferred by ambulance to other old people's homes. Tonight, police named the woman who died as Mrs. Margarita Halstead, an 87-year-old resident whose room was on the second floor. The member of staff who jumped to safety, 23-year-old Dawn Stevenson, said to be comfortable in hospital. The Redlands has been opened only a year and has a current safety certificate. Tonight, experts who examined the charred rooms said they couldn't yet reveal the cause of the fire. Just after breakfast, and some of the 22 elderly residents were trapped in upstairs rooms. They broke windows to sound the alarm, but neighbours' rescue attempts were thwarted. Then, as a woman member of staff prepared to jump from the second-floor window, the neighbours stretched out a curtain. Brian Thorpe was on the scene.
When I first got there was just old ladies